We carry the love, honor, and duty of the brave souls who came before us, and we entrust them to future generations. Our children and our grandchildren must know who they were, what they did, and why they did it. To do anything less would be a disservice to their lives and their memories. These patriots created a clear path for us to continue on. We must never waver from that path. Heavenly Father, we humbly ask that you will grant us the courage to take their dreams and walk forward, shouldering the cause of freedom, carry it high and as proudly as they did, and to continue onward for them and for all Americans. Amen.
Here to handle cartridge, prime and load. Boys, when ready. Make ready. Fire!
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. John Wright, would you now lead us in reciting the pledge to the SAR?
We, the descendants of the heroes of the American Revolution, who by their sacrifices established the United States of America, reaffirm our faith in the principles of liberty and our constitutional republic, and solemnly pledge ourselves to defend against every foe.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Andy Schell. I'm the Vice President for the Boston chapter of the Sons of the American Revolution. I'd like to thank you all for joining us today as we celebrate and recognize Captain Joseph Lewis. We have a number of honored guests here. I'd like them to step forward as I announce their names. From the Massachusetts Society Sons of the American Revolution, First Vice President and State Secretary Stephen Perkins. Colonel Henry Knox Color Guard Commander Jerry Hazeldine. Boston Chapter President Jim Mitchell. George Liphart, Boston Chapter compatriot and direct descendant of Captain Joseph Lewis. From the Daughters of the American Revolution, Aaron Guild Chapter Regent Terry Whetstone. Welcome. From the American Veterans Association, Second Vice Commander Don McLean. Al Temple, former State Commander. State Representative Paul McMurtry, Massachusetts House of Representatives. State Senator Michael Rush. From the town of Dedham, Selectman Michael Butler. Jim McDonald, Chair of the Selectmen. Dennis Tian. Carmen Delachano. And Dennis Guilfoyle. Special thanks to the entire Department of Public Works, led by Joseph Flanagan. Joe? Thanks, Joe. And the Cemetery Advisory Committee, led by Chairwoman Marie Keogh. David Ray, Tom Polito, Frank Stapleton, and Archie D. Virgilio, and Roscoe Maloney. Thank you all. Numerous town employees have assisted in making this day a reality. Again, we want to thank the entire town of Dedham. We also had assistance from the Dedham Historical Society, Director Vicki Kuchenberg and Sandra Waxman, who helped put this story together and provide the information that led George Liphart to this grave. And a number of interested and caring citizens, in particular Bill Boyington. Bill is an amateur photographer and gravesite archivist and found this grave for George to be able to make the connection. Compatriot Dave Conkling, who helped us with the town of Dedham. Former Selectman Mark Engdahl. Beppy Martin from the Dedham Times is here. And for those that had a chance, the Boston Globe for their assistance, Dave Eisenstatter, the Globe reporter. I'm sure I might have missed someone. I apologize for the omission, but I'm thankful for all that those of you have done. Also, the Chief of Police, Michael D'Entremont, from the town of Dedham. Representative McMurtry, would you like to make a few remarks?
Good morning. As mentioned, my name is Paul McMurtry, State Representative of the 11th Norfolk District here from Dedham, and for historical context, today is successor to those who served in what was then called the Great and General Court. I'm pleased to join each of you as we celebrate our history and pay tribute to the service of one of Dedham's colonial ancestors, a true patriot and hero, Captain Joseph Lewis. The freedoms that each of us enjoy today and oftentimes taken for granted, including the ability for us to freely gather like we do this morning, were made possible through the courage of individuals like Captain Lewis and many others who believed in fighting for what is right, to live in a nation of liberty and justice for all. It's only appropriate for us to gather to honor that sacrifice. I welcome you to Dedham and acknowledge the tireless efforts of Captain Lewis's fifth-generation grandson, George Liphart, accompanied by the photographic research of Mr. Bill Boynton and assisted by the staff of Dedham Historical Society and many others. I share my admiration for the members of the Sons of the American Revolution, including Andy Schell, for organizing today's ceremony and valuing the importance and significance of those early soldiers and for raising the awareness of our history of our great country. As we come together on these hallowed grounds of our historic town, we share in the opportunity to witness of the pages of history come alive and to experience the early days of our community, our Commonwealth, and our nation. Today's symbolic gesture shows that we are a country that does not forget and reminds us of the countless sacrifices of our ancestors and gives us the ability to reflect on their sacrifice and perhaps even inspire us to serve our neighbors and our communities, not unlike Captain Joseph Lewis. I extend my gratitude to all who made today possible and publicly acknowledge Captain Lewis for his role, which helped give birth to our nation's independence, and for granting every American citizen liberties and freedoms that continue to this very day. Your town of Dedham and its citizens remember you and thank you and wish you continued eternal peace.
Thank you. While today's ceremony is to mark Captain Lewis's grave, let us recognize that those who fought alongside Captain Lewis are also buried here, those whose graves are marked and unmarked. The Lexington Alarm, April 19th, 1775. This is an account, according to historian Erastus Worthington, in his The History of Dedham, from the beginning of its settlement in September 1635 to May 1827, published by the Dedham Historical Society. April 19th, the news of the battle raging at Lexington reached Dedham about 9 o'clock in the morning. 5 companies of infantry were soon mustered here, and an association of veterans who had done service against the French 20 years before. As fast as men enough to form a platoon were gathered, they hastened to the scene of action, leaving others to follow in squads of half a dozen as they happened to collect together. Captain Joseph Guild led the Minutemen, Lieutenant George Gould, Captain William Bullard, Lieutenant William Ellis, and Captain Ebenezer Battelle commanded other companies. Of those who arrived in season to participate in the action, one, Elias Haven, was killed and one, Israel Everett, wounded. Joseph Lewis was among the Minutemen that heeded the call of the alarm. Captain Lewis was born August 19, 1738, in Dorchester, Massachusetts. His known revolutionary service includes acting as first lieutenant to Captain Aaron Fuller's company and marching on the alarm of April 19th to the Lexington area from here, the first parish of Dedham, for 4 days. He also was a captain in the 1st Dedham Company under Colonel William McIntosh and marched to the camp at Dorchester on the alarm of March 14th, 1776, which subsequently led to the British withdrawal from Boston on March the 17th. Let me read you his epitaph. Near this place are deposited the remains of Mr. Joseph Lewis, who died June 9th, 1804, aged 66 years. Here lies entombed beneath this mossy sod an honest man, the noblest work of God, in whom those beauties of a noble mind, faith and good works were happily combined. A friend and comfort to the sick and poor, want never knock unheeded at his door. A tender husband, father, brother, and friend, he crowned his virtues with a pious end. Jim Mitchell.
Thank you. Just going to give a brief reading. Soldiers and Sailors of the American Revolution. The General Court of 1891, by Chapter 100 of its resolves, directed the Secretary of the Commonwealth to prepare and publish an indexed compilation of the records of the Massachusetts soldiers and sailors who served in the Army and Navy during the Revolutionary War, as shown in the archives in the office of the Secretary. The work was begun in September of 1891 by making a card record index of all the names found upon the muster rolls, payrolls, and other documents which form the Revolutionary War archives. The Revolutionary collection at that time numbered 60 volumes of rolls, orders, receipts, etc., together with the Continental Regiment books numbering 21 volumes of individual pay accounts. The work on this collection had been nearly completed when a mass of rolls and miscellaneous papers was purchased under authority of Chapter 33 of the Resolves of 1893 from Mr. Samuel A. Drake. This edition is equivalent in amount of material to 2 volumes and is now known as the Drake Collection. Subsequent to this extension of the Revolutionary series in 1894, a large number of company and regimental returns, descriptive lists, orderly books, account books, etc., making 14 new volumes, were found among a miscellaneous unclassified collection of documents which had been hidden away for years in the various storage places connected with the Secretary's office. It will be seen that the original Revolutionary Rolls collection has been augmented by 16 volumes, and it is estimated that the number of references to individual records of service have been increased at least 1/3. William M. Olin, Secretary of the Commonwealth. Hold on, please. We have one more. This is an excerpt from the book, Soldiers and Sailors, whose graves have been designated by the marker of the Massachusetts Society of the Sons of the American Revolution, published by the Society in 1901 in Boston, prepared by Henry A. May. As of 1901, the Sons of the American Revolution had marked about 3,815 Patriot graves in 115 cities and towns in our great state. The origin and history of the markers is well expressed in the following extracts, made from the speech of Captain Nathan Appleton, one of the vice presidents of our society, on the occasion of the celebration of the Children of the American Revolution at the Old South Meeting House on July 4th, 1895. The marker which you see before you is copied almost exactly from the reverse of the badge of the society. It is taken from the cross of St. Louis with some changes, and nothing could be more appropriate. As you will remember, that it was during the reign of Louis XVI of France, who was Grand Master of the Order, that Lafayette and the other Frenchmen of the country and Navy came to the struggling colonies and gave us the assistance we so much needed at the time. In the center of the cross, you will see the Minuteman, a copy of the fine statue by Daniel C. French, which stands by the Concord Bridge, where was fired the shot heard round the world on April 19th, 1775. At a meeting of the Massachusetts Society held in Wesleyan Hall, Boston, February 8, 1893, to take action in relation to having the 19th of April made a state holiday, the Reverend Carlton Albert Staples of Lexington suggested that it would be well to have some way of marking the graves of those who served in the Revolutionary War. Nathan Appleton was made chairman of a committee to prepare some special design to be placed in cemeteries. A design was presented at the meeting of the society held at Marblehead, October 19, 1893, and it was voted to adopt it and also to order 50 of them on behalf of the society. You will notice that the marker has on the three upper arms of the cross the letters S-A-R, which can stand for a soldier or sailor of the American Revolution, or if you please, for a son or society, making it very comprehensive at the same time, clearly fixing the name of our organization as that of the American Revolution. At the meeting of the National Society held at Washington, D.C., April 30th, 1894, the marker was officially adopted by the Society and since that time has come into general use. Thank you.
George Liphart, will you please bring the wreath forward?
One step forward.
If the past is indeed prologue, then a glimpse into the past can provide a source of wisdom and inspiration for the future. As we honor this patriot today, let us be mindful of his service to our nation, and let us rededicate ourselves to the principles for which he held sacred.
As we gather, O God, for this dedication,